Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. I wanted to talk to you guys about my favorite type of models. I feel like I say that a lot, but truly, honestly, while I do have a lot of specific preferences, one of the very first miniatures tabletop figures that I can really distinctly remember getting were the Dragonlance Draconians when I was in junior high. And those are the old Raoul Partha ones with that Keith Parkinson art on the cover that I remember just being absolutely glued to and secretly keeping. I used to have the AD&D trading cards, and eventually most of them disappeared, giving them away to friends and stuff and whatnot. But I kept the Draconian ones and a lot of the Caldwell art and Parkinson art, now that I think about it. But I digress. So I was always drawn to that old Parkinson artwork with them, like in the swamps with all the different colored draconians running about. And Raging Heroes has once again started the year off with exactly the kind of models I want to see. And I'm one of those folks that just isn't always looking for proxies to use in other games. I mean, I'll admit I like them. I see nothing wrong with them, especially when they're given their own artistic interpretation and flair, which I don't think anybody will ever say that, Raging Heroes is not really doing, because they absolutely do. They make some great looking dynamic figures, and that's actually one of the things I really wanted to talk about with these guys. So this Draconian set, of which admittedly there aren't that many yet. I apologize for the shine on this guy. I was playing around with various resins. This is kind of like the leader model. I haven't printed everything from the set. Slowly but surely we'll try to get to that point. I like the fact that, number one, he's wearing armor. You don't see that a lot. They're not reused poses, which is another nice thing. And I also really like the fact that this is part of a double dose set. So we got like Paladins and Dragonborn. Red Dragonborn, they pointed out. So I'm wondering if we'll get some other colored Dragonborn. Not that that's a thing. But, why not, right? So this was, I think his name was like, oh gosh, what was it? One of them was, oh, okay. I don't know his name. We'll leave it at that. He's got a friend here. That one I know the name of. That was Drakkar Bloodcleave. And again, very impressive. I like the posing. I like the wings. And if you're not a fan of the wings, they do have most of these figures available without them as well, if you go through pledging for the releases through the Raging Heroes or Heroes Infinite website. Something to bear in mind. We had, so I'm guessing maybe if you really wanted to use them as Seraphon or Lizardmen proxies, but I mean, I'm thinking, because the fact is, you've got a bunch of character models in Paladin dudes. I think I do. So I tried priming up one of the Paladin models already. It didn't come out as nicely as I'd wanted, and I had to do some touch-up just because the primer... I have not learned my lesson about buying primers from the hardware store. Like, I was over there getting some flowers and some gardening equipment, and I'm like, let's give it a shot. And it came out so glossy and shiny and impossible to work with. I had to kind of touch it up before I could do anything else to it. A couple spots I need to clean up on him. But you can see, I mean, it should be pretty obvious where the interpretation is and what this guy is supposed to represent, obviously. If not, I'm sure you can find your own uses. And the best part about a lot of these models is always the fact that, you can do what you wish. If you wanted to use them as, I think they were called Storm Warden Paladin, so we'll leave it at that. But they're actually really nice too. I've got a couple, and one in particular I'm already starting to paint on because he gave me some very strong Chaplain vibes, which I've always been a fan of. But as I was trying to get to, the fact is, you do have a lot of these kind of RPG-style models, but you also get all of their unit models. They've got, heavy infantry, light infantry so far. I'm hoping we see some more. I'm hoping this is a big success for them. And I do like the fact that, if we can get something funky and different and pair with something that people really want, like the Storm Warden Paladins, if it gets me some funkier stuff, I'm all for it. So I know, right here, this is one of the Thundrax Ironhides. Now, these are interesting because, again, you can have them in winged and non-winged versions. And that's a big base he's on. They're not the largest of models, but they are fairly substantial. Grabbing my usual friend. Just to give you kind of an idea of what to expect in terms of size. They are fairly large, but they're not like massively gigantic. They're not ogre-sized or troll-sized or anything like that. So this is one of the unit models of the heavy infantry. I didn't print any of the light infantry yet. I do have another of the character models I wanted to talk about for a second. I want to say this was called like Thylindra, I believe. And this is something that I think Raging Heroes really excels at, and it's that use of vertical space with models. I love the fact that, yeah, she's only balanced on her tail. That tail, at least, and the cloak do connect to the ruins on the base, so everything just kind of fits together really nicely. This is not the first time they've had some models with some really nice vertical growth. I know, like this guy right here, I don't think I primed him. This is like one of their space elf models. He had a little harpoons there, but I snapped him off, unfortunately. Again, really dynamic in terms of the pose itself. The fact that, you know, again, it's got a nice vertical sense going on. Some of the various other vertical models we've seen from them before. They like their floaty mage girls. I can't blame them. I just see these types of robes and stuff, and I'm like, they really need to do like some Chinese wuxia style, you know, dashing flying swordsman type stuff. The robes, the poses, it's so Raging Heroes, and I'm just going to keep on repeating it until hopefully somebody gets the hint that absolutely they can do a real bang-up job, I think, on that. But again, Dragonborn, Draconians, those types of models, they've always been my jam, and hopefully if you are interested in them too, you're definitely going to be checking out Raging Heroes' latest. I gotta say, like, it seems every January they really seem to roll out something that I am all into. I just haven't had a chance to post these yet, so I hope you all can forgive me. And they played nicely with a lot of the other Dragonborn Draconian models on the market. We've got like one of the loot ones right here, if you guys aren't familiar with their stuff. But again, see, nice size comparison. I think they're going to work nicely together, and they're really just fun models that hopefully we will see more of. So with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamerlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.